love them. I love them. Yeah, when you love someone, you got to trust them. There's no other way. And, you know, and I do. I love my fellow man, you know, my fellow human beings. All of you out there, my fellow man, my fellow woman, I do love you. I'm just not sure I trust you. Yeah, you know, people have just got so much ingenuity, so much passion and drive to get it done, and I love people. I love them, right? And yeah, when you love them, you got to trust them. You know, there's just no other way. Yeah, people. Back before I got myself blowed up, you know, I used to love people unconditionally, and you know, I'd see them on the street and I'd shake their hands. I listened to their spiels on Joseph Smith and all those artifacts that he found in the woods or whatever. The Book of Mormon. But now, you know, I'm out there with people and I see him and I shield my face with my hand like they're the paparazzi or something. I cross to the other side of the street. I walk away. You know, they chase after me and I run. I just know, you know, you Mormons and all you people out there, I just don't know if you're being sincere with me. I just really don't know if, you know, you care what I do. But I do admire their perseverance. Not just the religious evangelical types that chase after you on the street and they want to tell you about Jesus and give you their tracts to read. But just the perseverance of, you know, people in general. They grow up and they're inspired by, like, you know, certain heroes. Certain heroes inspire them to want to do things, and they grow up and they don't have a lot of money, but they take what they have, what they've saved up for years, like a comic book collection, right? You know, it was a very popular thing a long time ago, you know, to take your comic book collection that you've been saving up since you were a little kid and sell it and use it to chase your dream that hero once inspired you to do. And, you know, actually, Kevin Smith, the filmmaker behind movies like Clerks and Chasing Amy, he was not the only person to have done this, to sell his comic book collection to make a movie, to chase his dreams. There was also Timothy McVeigh. Also, I'm told, I haven't been able to verify this, but apparently Timothy McVeigh was also one of those people who sold his comic book collection. He was inspired, not by like George Lucas like Kevin Smith was, but Timothy McVeigh was inspired by David Koresh, the guy who wrote the Turner Diaries, to blow up a building, right? I mean, but nevertheless, humans have great perseverance. I just don't trust sometimes that they're going to do the best things with that attitude. I just don't know if I do trust them. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. My wife is in the other room right now watching Casino while I'm in here doing the show. I so want to be in there with her right now, watching that movie. But here I am. I'm doing the last episode. This is the Midnight Citizen Show. I'm your host, Mike Booty. Direct from Birmingham, Alabama. Live tonight in the studio. It's about 11 o'clock, about 17 minutes after 11 here on Saturday night, November 22nd. 2025, and I want to welcome you. This is episode 300. A few weeks late of when I initially said it was going to be, but whatever, you know, we're here. We're here in the show. And I've got some folks Joining me live tonight, you know, we got Alex and Dave. They're actually sitting in the backyard, I guess, you know, watching. Apparently they're watching a movie while they're watching my show also. But that's okay. That's cool. THX 1138. I just mentioned George Lucas. There you go. George Lucas apparently was a big inspiration on Kevin Smith. One of the reasons why he sold his comic book collection to make a movie that is not at all like Star Wars, but they do talk a lot about Star Wars in it. Clerks from 1992. And yeah, we got Steve joining us here tonight as well. And Paul is, I don't know if Paul is on his back porch there out in Irondale, but good to see you back. Paul has mentioned just now that he's been a longtime listener of mine. As a matter of fact, a longtime supporter of mine, even back when he was my old boss at the coffee shop. But yeah, Paul says he says it feels like just yesterday when you were getting kicked out of the Galleria like a gonzo journalist. I don't know if gonzo is how I would term it, but yeah, no, I have been kicked out of the mall. I've been kicked out of a few public places for doing this show, for recording in public places in the 15-year-long history of the Midnight Citizen show, going back to 2010. Yes, those are great memories of walking around the mall, usually around Christmas time, with my recorder out. And I think they I don't know, you get approached by security and told to, like, you know, because apparently like all these people walking around with phones who are actually taking video and pictures, they're not a threat at all, but me, because I want to record it in audio only, that's a little weird. That's a little weird. See, you know, they don't trust me. They don't think that my intentions are sincere. That I'm up to. I'm just like out in the world, kind of pursuing a hobby, I guess. I don't know, walking around recording audio. I don't know. I have. That's why I started the show all these years ago, right? It's because I found there was like something that was just so like palatable about the human voice, more so than video, and in some ways even more so than writing, to convey really like the whole breadth of the human experience. I don't know. I think it's just the idea that there's somebody there with you. And even more so if it's like a monologue show, like, you know, what I'm doing right now and what I've been doing all these years, with the exception of a few episodes of the show, is really just monologuing. It's just, you know, myself coming on, telling you about my day, or telling you about like my thoughts, trying to sort of reconcile all my confusions about the world that we live in. And I have in the past few weeks gotten some really nice emails and messages. People have reached out to me who have been kind of a silent majority over the years, who I've never heard from before, but have nevertheless said that they've been listening to my show. I knew they were out there because I'll check the downloads occasionally, and it's like, wow, a lot of people downloaded the show, and I have like nobody commented, but they've commented finally. They've kind of, some of them come out of the woodwork and, you know, told me that that's the idea, that they like, just it feels like a like I'm accompanying them or something, like it's a one-on-one kind of conversation that they're having. And that's if that works for you, if that's why you like the show, that's the whole idea. That's exactly what I am trying to accomplish. I realize I may say like some nonsense every once in a while. It won't always make sense, right? But the idea is that you're just at least getting something out of just like having another person kind of tell you, sort of through a bit of an unfiltered you know, audio lens, what's going on with them. So that really some of these comments that I've gotten over the past few weeks have really made me feel very good and supported. And, you know, what could I say? I feel like, you know, tonight just going on YouTube and actually seeing like several people in the chat before I even started the show. If I do a live show like here in the studio, I'll usually get like, you know, some people listening as the show goes on, but they'll never be there before it starts. And there's people tonight. So what can I say? It's like with people in the chat and with people, you know, reaching out to me. I don't know. What can I say? I should... well, I should do a final show like more often, I guess. That's what it should be like. So. Yeah, and Steve says he wants to hear about any vague plans that I have for future projects. Yeah, I'll talk about that coming up. That is in the scant show notes that I've written. That's one of the things that I do want to talk about is like what's going to happen next on the Midnight Citizen show and kind of like why am I ending it? I don't know. I'll talk about it. I just got a message there from Dave. One of my former students, yes. If you're listening to the show for the first time, wherever you are now or in the future. I am a teacher. I used to teach high school. I teach college now at the university down the street as well as at the community college out there in the far industrial country on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. It's where I teach now. But I do have one of my former students from when I was teaching high school who's been following me, and I've been following him and all of his endeavors since we parted as teacher and student many years ago. So he says, I won't be able to stay long, but have a great final show. Absolutely. And for any of you listening right now and watching out there who are watching this live, please feel free to drop out at any point. The show, as always, will be up for streaming tomorrow on Sunday. And if you're listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts, you already know that anyway. So anyway, welcome to the final show of the Midnight Citizen. Yeah, it's it just feels right that I am ending the show right now. This is, after all, it's an even number show. It's episode 300, and you don't have to be a genius at math to know that I haven't been very consistent over the 15 years that I've been doing this podcast. You know, the idea when I started back in January of 2010 was to do a show every week and eventually graduate that once I started making money on it to every night, and eventually to get my own radio show. You know, so I don't think that you can go into any kind of endeavor without a mild bit of delusion, and I think I think that's healthy. You know, you're not able to start anything with like just at least a little bit of delusion. And I had it in droves and mass quantities back then. Right. But somehow I've managed to, even though I found out very quickly in 2010 and subsequently in 2011 and the years after that, that this is not really a commercially viable venture that I'm doing. And I don't really have that entrepreneurial spirit. And I really don't have that thing that other people have, which is like this these two fingers that can adequately put their pulse on the culture and know what people right want to listen to. And in 2010, I was really interested in starting a podcast. I had no idea at the time that nobody was really listening to podcasts that much anymore, that pretty much the only people who listened to podcasts were like people who also made podcasts. So in that sense, the podcasting scene in 2010 was really like, I don't know, like a small town music scene or something, or like a community of like DJs or whatever, who just all like enjoyed each other's shows, but very rarely got any outsiders into it. And in 2011, it seems like podcasting really shot off into the stratosphere. I think that was because it just became more of like there was more of a mobile infrastructure for it. But I think also the explosion of Serial and What the Fuck with Mark Maron, which also just ended. That WTF, Mark Maron's podcast that he started around 2010 just exploded, as did Serial. So, the next 15 years up until where we are right now in terms of like the podcasting epoch, the first one, I guess, being between about 2004 and 2006, is all about, right, true crime, or not even really about true crime. Like all podcasts are, have that like public radio sound, that public radio vibe, that kind of investigative type, This American Life type reporting. That's what Serial was. Serial was like an offshoot of like a passion project of a producer who worked for This American Life on NPR. And then there was WTF, and every other podcast that's not like a true crime investigative reporter type show is like a comedian interview show. And obviously there's a lot of different niches within that, but I guess I just never really fit into one of those niches. And I technically, I think I do. I do fit into a niche, which is, monologues, night radio, but those are just not really, because I think the general consensus on those is that if you're alone in a, room that you call a studio at your house, talking into a microphone, you're generally kind of vain. You're sort of a loser type guy. You think that you actually have interesting things to say that other people are going to want to listen to. So there's very much like a stigma around, I think, in a way, what I'm doing. And I've been very aware of that over the years. And in some ways, that's what's sort of kept me from being consistent, is like I will at times over the course of the life of the show get very depressed and very self-aware that what I'm doing is absolutely the work of a narcissistic loser. I do get that, but then I will generally snap out of it, pretty well, and then I'll just start doing the show again until I kind of get that sinking feeling again. And so that's and that's what's kept me going, is just these like constant cycles over the last 15 years of feeling really energized and energetic that, yes, what I'm doing is valid. Yes, what I'm doing is good. And then just like hitting this like despair of what other people think about what I'm doing. So I don't know, but what can I say? Like that's the creative process, right? That's the creative, spirit, I suppose, the creative cycle, right? Like anything that you do, you're always going to feel like, it's like completely pointless because of like what other people might perceive it to be. But, I don't know, but then you kind of get back into that delusion again. Yes, what I'm doing is quite valid, is quite good. So. But then there's this point where all of that cycle just has to burn out. And episode 299 of the show that I did a few weeks ago, I didn't do this episode in the studio. I did it in the field. I had a recorder, my Zoom recorder, and I was recording as I was, driving around, doing my side job of just delivering food to people. And I called that episode Brennschluss, right? Which is just a German word that I took from Thomas Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow as I was finishing that book. And that refers to the, more or less the cutoff point, right? Like in Gravity's Rainbow, not to spoil it, it's an unspoilable novel, by the way, but there's a rocket at the end of that book that goes up, that is shot off with this like amazing propulsion and energy, shooting high up above the earth. And that in a lot of ways is the metaphor for kind of the creative process, that like when you start something, you're wholly into it, you're wholly committed, you're delusional to the point that what you're actually doing is going to hit its target in the exact right spot. And then you get up into the atmosphere, and then it just like stops, and that's Brennschluss, right? That absolute top of the arc, the top of the parabola of the rainbow that is gravity. And the thing just stops, and at that point, there's just gravity that is sucking that rocket back down to Earth. And this is sort of like the burnout of the creative process, where you just have this agreement between yourself and the project that you're working on that it's over, and this thing is about to, hit the ground, and you just kind of hope that it lands somewhere within the realm of the space that you were deluded to target in the first place. I think that that's it. So when I started the show, I was just kind of hoping that I would be able to make money off of it. I would be able to like sustain some kind of a lifestyle off of it. And it very quickly became clear that was not going to happen. But what I did find is that I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed doing the show when I was actually doing it. It was kind of like all the other times that I wasn't doing it, that I was really sort of dreading it, especially right before I would have to do a show. And then when I would do the show, I would sort of really be enjoying it. And here I am right now. I'm enjoying talking to you guys. So I think that, Brennschluss has happened, and I think that I've sort of hit some kind of a target that I was aiming for in the first place, which is just not necessarily making money, but enjoying it, enjoying what I'm doing. So. So, as we move on here, I am another reason that I did not do episode 299 in the studio while I did it outside is because honestly, like, I'm kind of terrified to sit in this room right now. The last episode I did was like the week before Halloween here in the studio. Episode 298, and this led to quite a horrific moment when I was out here, and this is why I'm a little nervous tonight, because I do have a couple of friends watching right now who are only 2 blocks away, and I'm hoping that I'm not manifesting this into existence right now. But I do have Alex and Dave, and I want to welcome you, into the studio tonight. But they are apparently watching THX 1138 George Lucas's first movie while they've got my show playing. And I'm hoping that Alex staying over there will do everything that he possibly can to keep Dave from walking over here just 2 blocks down the street and doing what he did in episode 298, which was about, what was that, like an hour or so into the show. I think I've got it pulled up right now, and I'm going to kind of look away because I still have like a little bit of a hard time looking at this. So there I am, and of course, yeah, I'm wearing the, look at this. Why do I do this? Why do I wear the exact same thing for 2 studio shows in a row? Look at this. I have no wardrobe. This is ridiculous. This is embarrassing. So yeah, there I am right there. A scary mask. Talking. As I was about to do a toast here to Diane Keaton, who, if you're watching live, so did not understand about archiving back then. I had to go back a little bit. So I'm very embarrassed to say that the first year of the Midnight Citizen show, unless you're a super fan who still has your hard drive from 15 years ago, it's gone. Holy shit. Oh my God. What the fuck? Okay, so, and there right there is the decidedly not cool Halloween prank that that Dave pulled on me while he was aware that I was doing a show, while he was sitting in his backyard watching my show. I guess he got bored and thought it needed to be mixed up a little bit. So that's what Dave was doing, and so I am decidedly a little bit creeped out right now to do a show here in the studio. And like I said, I hope that Dave and Alex, I hope you guys are having a good time watching that movie. Although I know how boring THX 1138 is. I hope it's not as boring as my show is. And I'm hoping that you guys are content to stay over there right now, and in no way going to walk over here right now and do that to me, the both of you. If you do, and I'm not saying you have to, I'm not at all sending a signal right now that I want you to leave and walk over here right now. I'm not saying that at all. You are 2 blocks away. If you do, it's like the, Christmas is upon us. Come over here with, I don't know, like some scarves and like some Dickensian stovepipe hats. Do something like that. Maybe sing a Christmas carol or something like that. That would be very sweet and polite, and maybe I'll like invite you in for cocoa. God dang. So I'm not daring you, no. Dave told me to bump the bass up and take the treble down a little bit. Yeah, I'm engineering. I can do very, very little while I'm in the middle of a show right now to really fix this out. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. How's that? Anyway. THX 1138, what is this movie? It is a movie, I do remember, finding out about it. So Robert Duvall is in it. It's a movie from 1971 that I guess is, it's George Lucas's first movie. It's produced by Francis Ford Coppola. And I think the idea with this movie is that Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas had like this grand idea to make movies that they really wanted to see, or movies that were very much outside the studio system at the time, which is what all filmmakers, like were doing in the early 1970s. But the movie came out, and it was like a ridiculous financial bomb. And I guess George Lucas realized, like, I got to make something that people want to see.
Has demands to make on their parts, however, before they are eliminated. That's the kind of efficiency that makes you proud to live in this era.
I didn't realize Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis, is in that movie.
You have asked, are we happy? Are we happy and effective? Consultation with leading experts in the field makes it perfectly clear that we are all now programmed for perfect happiness, perfect happiness, perfect happiness, perfect happiness.
1138, what tracks? Are you all right? What did they do to you?
There are, of course, occasional technical or electronic errors in programming and/or surveillance which produce perverse exceptions.
I'm going to have a child.
First, they start skipping prescribed drug dosages. Then they begin touching and indulging in various.
This is a movie.
And the ultimate perversion.
So as I understand it, Coppola had, Francis Ford Coppola, this is before The Godfather, had like this film studio he had created called American Zoetrope. And his idea was to make movies outside of Hollywood. And I guess he had some clout to do this because he had won like an Academy Award for writing the movie Patton. And, he goes up to San Francisco and makes what seems to be like the most San Francisco type of late 1960s, early 70s kind of dystopic, anti-authoritarian, futuristic movie ever with his buddy, George Lucas. It does look kind of cool, though. Oh, man, he just knocked that guy off of his scaffolding.
The shell people will attack any person's
The shell people.
prescribed areas.
The future is here in THX 1138. So yeah, I remember, of course, the 90s, it was very, very common to go to the movie theater, like get a videotape, like, you get Twister on home video or whatever. And, it had that thing at the very beginning, that thing. Is this it right here? Yeah, this is very, very iconic if you, grew up in the 90s. Turn it up. So that's just the first time I had ever heard of THX. And then, I was watching the movie American Graffiti, and I noticed that one of the characters had like a license plate on his car that said THX 1138. And, of course, American Graffiti is a George Lucas film. And I watched American Graffiti, of course, because I knew about, Star Wars. And, and that's how I found out about THX 1138. So it's like, I think that's the way that a lot of people go with like George Lucas's, filmography. Of course, like now it's like Star Wars is, I don't know. I guess those late model Star Wars fans may not even really know who George Lucas is. They may have no idea that everything that they watch, like on Disney Plus, kind of originated with this, like, this guy who was like really, I won't say like in a cynical way, trying to make a commercial movie that would just make like a ton of money for him and just like get him out of having to ever have to direct a movie again. But in a way, that's what George Lucas, I mean, George Lucas was literally sitting down, I think, to write Star Wars, a movie that he just thought was going to be just the most, like, taking all of the basest elements out of like adventure storytelling and just putting them into one movie. And it happened to work. It worked really well, and it got him everything he wanted. But, you know, I think he was a guy who really did want to make these like serious, thought-provoking movies like THX 1138. Like even American Graffiti, you know, he said is like not really a movie that he would have written. It was just a way to kind of get him back in good with Francis Ford Coppola, I think, because THX 1138 came out and they spent a lot of money on it. And I think it kind of bankrupted the very young, you know, like American Zoetrope Studios. Let me see if I can find that scene in American Graffiti with the car. It says THX 1138. See if I can see that. I don't know. There's Bob Falfa, played by Harrison Ford. Mackenzie Phillips, of course. I don't know. It's like I don't expect YouTube to just like single out that one little shot in this movie. But yeah, American Graffiti is a movie that you know, I love more than Star Wars. I mean, I know they're two completely different movies, but my God.
He won't let me stay out late or play records or anything.
Your father won't let you stay out late?
No, he's terrible. Once I was at a party and it didn't end till late. He called the cops. Can you imagine? He had the whole police force there.
By the way, where is it that you live, Carol?
Over in Ramona. Why? Oh, no. You thought I'd tell you where I live? Not me. Not old Carol. The night is young, and I'm not hitting the rack till I get a little action. What do you keep looking at? Who's that? You know him? He's following awful close.
Grab onto something.
Hey, man, I'm sorry if I scared you. You're gonna have to do one hell of a lot more
Bob
than
Falfa.
scare me. Yeah, but looking all over for you, man. Didn't nobody tell you I was looking for you? Hey, I can't keep track of all you punks running around here backwards. Hey, you're supposed to be the fastest thing in the valley, man, but that can't be your car. It must be your mama's car. I'm sort of embarrassed to be this close to you. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised driving a field car. Field car? What's a field car? Field car runs through the fields, drops cow shit all over the place to make the lettuce grow. That's pretty good. Hey, I like the color of your car there, man. What's that supposed to be? Sort of a cross between piss yellow and puke green, ain't it?
Well, you call that a paint job, but it's pretty ugly. I bet you got to sneak up on the pumps just to get a little air in your tires.
Well, at least I don't have to pull over to the side just to let a funeral go by, man.
Oh, funny.
You know what?
Your car's uglier than I am. That didn't come out right.
There it was. So your car is uglier than I am. But yeah, that was it, though. I knew that THX 1138 was on one of the cars. I did not realize that it was actually on John Milner's car. John Milner, played by, of course, you know, Paul LeMat. But yeah, like there it is right there. Yeah, THX 1138 is a reference to George Lucas's last movie, which I'm sure made Francis Ford Coppola very happy. I don't know. I think maybe I'm overplaying it a little bit more than I actually am. But yeah, George Lucas did very much just Coppola put a lot of blind faith in him to make 1138. And George Lucas kind of sat down and sort of was like, what is a really commercial thing that people like to see in a movie? And he's like, cars, of course. And of course, George Lucas being like the kind of the blowhard intellectual that he is, had to take all the fun out of the movie whenever he talks about it. He's always talking about like how, like, cars are a very interesting, mating ritual. And it's just, okay, yeah, I know. But it is a movie that I think, like American Graffiti, just like Star Wars in a lot of ways, I think, probably succeeds in spite of George Lucas in a lot of ways. I think he is in some ways kind of like an accidental filmmaker who just happened to make two of the greatest movies ever made. There's a lot of directors like that, who accidentally make great movies. Trying to think of other ones off the top of my head right now, but I think one classic example is probably Alex Cox, maybe, who made like Repo Man. And Repo Man just seems to be a movie that was almost completely made good just by the fact that it was made at a certain time in history, like 1984 in Los Angeles, that just happened to get under the skin of a certain like, subculture, not just like punk rock, like punkers in like 1980s Los Angeles, but also like Repo Men, all these kind of blue collar bottom feeders. I guess, I don't know. Repo Man is just such a goddamn good movie and all that. So, but anyway, I'm glad that we took that little detour down that road. So. Well, anyway, that messed up there. I'm going to play some music and be right back with you. It's the Midnight Citizen Show.
It's
keep forgetting to light this candle here. This is a candle that my wife Jessica got me for my birthday this year. And I burned it a little bit. I burned it last time, on the last time I was in this studio. A few weeks back, doing episode 298. This is a 5 o'clock shadow. It's one of these man candles, a mandel. The brand name is called, it's Manly Indulgence. Established 2013. 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah. This is already, like, I am, like, overwhelmed with just the scent of, like, you know, shaving cream, aftershave, various man soaps and man lotions. I'll say it, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It smells very much like what I imagined James Brolin's bathroom to smell like in, like, 1977 or whatever. I don't know. I'm going to put this back here. And I may have to open a window or something. It's a great addition here to the Midnight Citizen studio. Welcome back to the show. And yeah, we're getting going here. That was, I hope you enjoyed that music break there. The last music break of the Midnight Citizen. You heard just now a song called Hungover by the Crebulators. And before that, you heard Forget the Whale, Carry Your Own Weight. I wanted to play Forget the Whale just now, that great band, because every time I have played one of their songs, and they are a great band. I believe they're out of Texas. I may be wrong about that, but they are just a fantastic band. I really like them. But every time I play them on this show, and I've been playing them for years, they do thank me. They actually are one of those people who are totally cool with you playing their music without giving them any money at all. It's called a Creative Commons license, and it was a revelation when I discovered the Creative Commons license back in 2011. There are some stipulations, but Forget the Whale is like non-commercial, no derivatives. So I can't remix it. I can't sell the show, and I won't, and I will not sell the show and all of my episodes. The entire archive of the Midnight Citizen show is Creative Commons, so you can feel free to distribute it anywhere you want and listen to it for free. I will never charge money for it at all. It's on archive.org. If you just search for the Midnight Citizen, but it is a major thing that I'm working on right now to actually take that archive. And this is the first of several big announcements I'll be making here in the back half of the show. I'm going to be making it into a book. Okay, so there it is. Okay, the last few months, actually, I've been taking the almost complete archive of the Midnight Citizen show. Now, this is the sad thing, is that I do not have the first year of the show. I recorded those episodes. There's like 16 of them. I recorded them, stored them on my hard drive of my computer when I was living in this house before I moved in with my then girlfriend, now wife, Jessica. And I gave that hard drive, I think, to my that computer. I think I gave that to my sister, my older sister, when they moved to Mississippi, and God only knows where it is now. And those episodes are lost. They're gone. So unless you're out there right now and you're a longtime listener to the show going all the way back to 2010, and you still have the computer or the device where you downloaded those episodes, please reach out to me. But they're most likely not in existence anymore. But starting in 2011, I began archiving all the shows, backing them up in several places, and you can listen to them all now over, as I said, on archive.org, but I am in the process right now of taking all those shows and putting them into a book that you can actually buy and will be able to buy, hopefully very soon. The book will be complete with not only like an introduction, but it will be divided into chapters via years of the show. So everything from 2011 to 2017, when I stopped doing the show for about 3 years, and then again from 2020 to now. And the chapters will give you all the complete show notes, but it will also give you breaks of, just contextual summaries that I give for what was going on during that particular time of the show. And yeah, it'll be really cool. It'll be like a really cool companion to have to my show. What I am planning on doing when I'm finished with that book is not only releasing the archive all on the Substack, where you can just listen to it all without having to buy the book. Of course, when you get the book, you'll have the show notes. You'll be able to listen to the archive on the Substack over at mikesbonfire.substack.com. But yeah, when you have the book, you'll be able to just sit with it there. It'll be a nice companion, right? But when I do finish it, I am thinking right now about putting out like a package that you can buy, which will have the book, and it will be sent to you with a flash drive with the entire Midnight Citizen archive on it that you can listen to at your leisure. You can just have that as like a little companion. I may even make like a little lanyard that you can attach to that flash drive that will be branded with the Midnight Citizen logo and all that stuff. And to top it all off, I will also send you a Midnight Citizen candle. Yes, your Midnight Citizen, at one point in the history of the show, did dabble in the candle making business, and they were mandals. They were man candles. I made this very distinctive porch pipe candle, and it smelled great. It was fantastic, and I sold a few of them, and I'm thinking of bringing those back for a limited time only. When you buy the book at a certain price that just allows me to cover my overhead, you will get a flash drive with the archive as well as a signature edition Midnight Citizen porch pipe candle. And those will be forthcoming. In order to find out when I'm going to be releasing those, just keep following the Facebook page as well as the YouTube page. Both of them are under the handle of _Midnight Citizen Podcast. Also Instagram. But the real place to follow me, where I will be continuing to post new projects and new things coming up here in the future, is going to be over at the Substack, mikesbonfire.substack.com. You can, even though the show will be ending tonight, there will still be things to come from Birmingham, Alabama, from the Midnight Citizen studio. I did want to do something of a regular segment on the show here in recent years, which is to do a toast. And normally, what I do here, I just knocked my liquor over. What I normally do is I do a toast to a dead celebrity. So like the celebrities have like a way of dying before I do a show. On the last episode last time I was in here, I was drinking a toast to Diane Keaton, who had just died earlier that week. And that toast, of course, was interrupted by Dave holding up a scary babagool outside my window, freaking me the hell out and almost killing me himself. Yeah, I don't actually have a dead celebrity to toast to this week, although I could. There are several who I could drink to. You know, Dick Cheney is a celebrity. I mean, he wasn't like in movies or anything like that, but he was vice president of the United States and quite a significant figure in those early days of the war on terror. But we're not going to drink to him. What we are going to drink tonight, though, is we are going to drink to the last episode, the end of the Midnight Citizen podcast here. Knob Creek. And, see, I sprang for some nice whiskey this week. This is at a $20 price point, I think it is. Sprang for some nice whiskey this week. It took a lot for me not to have any up until now, but that was why I did not do episode 300. When I actually had announced that I was going to do episode 300, which was on November 1st, supposed to be like a 4-week run of my final 4 shows. I got all the way up to November 1st. And I went out with a friend earlier that day. And he said, yeah, we should have a drink. And we did. And we had a couple of drinks, as a matter of fact. I got home that night. I really did not want to do it. But anyway, discipline is what brings us to where we are right now. So I want to raise a glass to this fantastic experience that I've had with you over all these years, whether you're a new listener, whether you've been listening for years, whether you know me in person or whatever. I just want you to know that all those times I was really irritable about having to just continue to do this show when it was like an albatross around my neck, when I couldn't come out on Saturday night because I had to be in here, you know, and just stay disciplined to do an actual show that really nobody seemed to be asking for most of the time. But then afterwards, it all feels worth it now, right? Coming to a close here in November, what is now November 23rd, 2025, at 14 minutes after 12, the last episode of the Midnight Citizen Show. Ridley Scott's another good one. Yeah, during the music break just now, Steve had mentioned that. Of directors that seem to be to make really good, groundbreaking movies almost by accident. In Ridley Scott's case, I don't know if like Alien or Blade Runner were accidents. I think he was fantastically directed those movies and put everything that he had into them. But, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of other pretty good ones that he has, but mostly, yeah, Ridley Scott is kind of one of those directors who really just seem to direct Alien and Blade Runner, which are two of the most important movies of all time. And then he just kind of directed a bunch of other stuff that really just does not have that kind of like same cultural, impact. I guess you could say. Yeah, that's a really good point there. Totally. So yeah, I think that's the thing about doing this type of podcast is that because it is something that I have enjoyed doing over the years. It's become just something that's really hard to explain to people, not just like about people. It's like, when you sort of talk to people about like, oh, you have a podcast. Oh yeah, what's it about? It's hard to tell people like what it's about. It's easy to explain that, oh, I just do a monologue. I mean, that's easy to explain to people, but it's also one of those things that just like instantly pigeonholes you as I said, like that kind of loser who just sits in a home office that he calls a studio in front of a microphone, spitting his thoughts out into the ether. And it's something that I've gotten more comfortable telling people about it over the years, right? Because it's sort of one of those things where it's like the longevity kind of speaks for itself. Like when you're doing something, if you do it over a certain period of years and then you tell people, okay, yeah, I've been doing the show for 15 years, they sort of have a little bit more of an idea that it's a serious pursuit and it's not just something to satiate, I guess, your temporary sense of vanity or ego or whatever. I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with it over the years, but I'm not even talking about like talking to strangers about what the podcast is. It really is also about like, you know, friends and to a degree my wife also, who they understand like what I do. They understand the podcast and what it means to me, but it's also really difficult to tell them like I can't come out tonight because I got to do a show, and it's something that they understand and they don't question at all. But it also, to me, is like a disappointment because it's like I can go and do something that will give me a lot of meaning tonight, and probably a lot more meaning than coming and doing a podcast, right? So I think that that's my thing, is that like I could easily just, you know, keep doing the Midnight Citizen podcast and just say, okay, it's going to be more of like a field recording show, and I'm not really sticking to like an actual schedule, and I'm not going to do studio shows anymore because like on a Saturday night, because they kind of keep me from doing things that I really want to be doing, like just hanging out with friends or hanging out with my wife or whatever. It would be easy to do that, but at the same time, that's also not what I envisioned the show to be. That would not be like hitting anywhere near the target of what I wanted to hit with the show all those years ago, right? When I started doing the show, I really wanted it to be that kind of voice in the night, you know, that kind of Gene Shepard late night radio show. And that's what I envisioned the Midnight Citizen show to be. So to continue doing the show with that name, but not doing it the way that I intended to do it, would be kind of a sellout to me and a cop-out. So I just felt like it would be just easy just to, at episode 300, just stop doing the show, and then I could sort of focus on doing whatever the hell else I could do that would fit into my evolving lifestyle that is completely different now at 43 years old than when I started the show at 27 or whatever, you know, when I was single and not really mingling. So the idea is like kind of like, where do we bring it? You know, like, I don't know, like where do we go next? Where do we bring it from here? Let's get that music going there. Moving into the future. You know? Oh man, my whole life we're experiencing technical difficulties. I don't know. You ever been into like a fertility clinic? You know, this is just a question that I asked a friend of mine today if he had ever been into a fertility clinic, and he said no. I don't know if he would have said yes. I mean, he may have been lying. I don't know. But I did. I went to a fertility clinic the other day to deliver somebody food, actually, who worked there. It wasn't for me. But, you know, the idea of a fertility clinic is you go there to, you know, see if, like, everything's working, if all the boys, for lack of a better term, are swimming. And in order to do this, and this has been widely parodied in movies, and it's a very cheap joke, I know, but you know, they what the hell was that sound? I don't know. Somebody throwing something at me? Fertility clinics. Is there something on my... I feel like there's somebody outside. Better not be. Dang it. Some sound that was being made. Am I going to edit this part out? So I was making this point about fertility clinics, and it was really going to like be a beautiful wrap up to this whole thing about what I'm doing next. But I think my dog is in the corner right now and needs to be let out, and I think she's beating her tail against something. So hang on just a second. Listen to this. We've got some special guests coming in. I have to go to the Video Street Video Store. Enjoy this.
When parents look at their children, they look so sweet. Many of us say, our child should be in a commercial. But would you like to be in a TV commercial? Many people would, and there is big money to be made. A national commercial could pay a performer between $5,000 and $20,000 for the spot. But competition is real stiff. You not only have to look the part that the advertiser wants, but you have to act and maybe have an agent to help you get that job. There are also some other skills necessary to do a commercial. Like, for instance, learning how to eat.
Ritz. It's simply the Ritz.
Obviously, this is not a real commercial. It's a class for potential commercial actors who are learning how to eat on camera.
Sometimes you have to do so many takes with a thing like this, and if you're eating something, the trick is you take the bite on camera and you chew, and as soon as the guy says cut, bingo. That's what they have those little spit buckets for on the side of the set. Is learning to eat in front of a camera important to do commercials? It's critical. Because imagine if you're the producer, right? And your whole product line, the whole thing, all these millions of dollars that you're putting into this, the whole thing really winds up right on the actor. And there's secrets on how to do that, and we're experimenting with them today.
That's your best session pickle I ever heard.
Okay, all right, now we're going to try it again. This time you're going to take a smaller bite, Toby. You can throw that other one out there. Let's see, if you take too big a bite of a pickle, then there's a little bit of a problem. So we'll do it again, a smaller bite. So the trick is to, if you know you're going up for pickles tomorrow for an audition, go get some and start practicing to find out what it's going to do to your mouth. Basically, the secret to these things is taking small bites and then having a discovery process happen to you on camera.
Great.
And it's her birthday.
Great, Grandma. Thank you.
I love you.
You're the best.
Gum is very tricky. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever work with for a prop in a commercial. And some companies have a real specific way that they like to have it loaded into the mouth. The idea is you take the piece of gum like so, and it's going to go under the tongue first, and then it accordions on back into the mouth. That's the way one particular company likes it. It should be refreshing and delightful. Here, let me show you how to do it. And action. Here. Yeah, great. Oh, good. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's very hard to do. Muffins are a delightful product to work with because they're so emotional in a sense. They're basically a morning product, you know. Raise them up higher. It's in a little bit higher oven. Turn it off. No. Off camera. Okay. Oh, maybe I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's right here, and you're pulling down an oven. I want you to do the whole physical move. Yeah, and they're hot and they're delicious. I want you to smell them. Okay. Good. Okay. Great.
What a great way to start a morning.
Good. Ooh, it's delicious. Ooh, look at them, you get. So eating food and being able to drink beverages, especially at the audition, is critical. If the actor doesn't know how to make the product look good, look delicious, look tantalizing, look, you know, the essence of whatever it is. If they can't do that, then they can't hire that actor.
That's the best tasting pickle I ever heard. Great. We done?
Cut. All right, good. Okay, that's great.
That's really not as easy as it looks. But that was a fascinating glimpse behind the scene to see what actors have to learn in just one aspect of commercial production. I want to thank Randy Kirby and his students for allowing us to come backstage to see exactly how they do it. For years, the travel and tour industry has been plagued with fraud and misrepresentation. People are conned out of millions of dollars by phony tour promoters and travel scams of every believable kind. Some pose as legitimate travel agents and tour promoters, and then these con artists offer cut-rate airfares and discount vacation packages, collect the money up front, and disappear.
My name is Jim Harding, and have I got some great news for you.
The most notorious travel ripoff is the boiler room scam. These people sell all kinds of tours and trips and travel club memberships over the telephone. Some sell nothing at all. They simply get the victims' credit card numbers, rip off their accounts, and disappear.
I don't know why anyone would purchase a travel certificate or invest in gold or whatever it may be over the telephone. I just cannot understand it, and it's totally unreasonable to do so. The risks are so great that the only way you can protect yourself is simply hang up.
Con artists may also hide behind newspaper ads offering discount airline tickets. They collect the money through a mail drop or Western Union and then simply disappear.
The victim responds and is told that he can pay a very reduced rate as long as he wires money through Western Union. Of course, most people want to meet the seller face to face, but the suspects in this case are very convincing, and the wire fraud is done through Western Union. And then the tickets are not generated as they were projected at any airport.
Usually, your best protection in dealing with an agent you don't know is to get your ticket up front. Not a voucher or coupon or a boarding pass, but the ticket itself.
If you go to almost anybody who's legitimate, they'll give you a ticket. They'll give you a ticket when you pay the money. As I say, you may have to wait for a check to clear or a credit thing to clear, but you'll get your ticket right away. If the company says, we'll give it to you, later or just before you go, then you're in deep trouble.
But even having a ticket in your hand doesn't always guarantee that ticket is valid. Lori Cartagena says she had no idea there was anything wrong with her airline ticket until she was arrested at the airport at La Crosse, Wisconsin, and jailed, accused of trying to pass a stolen airline ticket.
The police just told me that I was holding stolen airline tickets, and I was shocked. I had no knowledge whatsoever they were stolen. I said, well, I purchased them from a travel agent in Los Angeles, and so at this point they said, well, we'll have to take you down for further questioning.
Experts in this kind of fraud say you can usually spot a stolen or forged airline ticket if you know what to look for.
Well, the upper right-hand corner of a ticket tells you what travel agency or what carrier issued that particular ticket, and you should be able to look that name and number up in the phone book and call the agency to verify the ticket was legitimately issued. Another important thing to look for in the lower right-hand portion of a ticket is the form of payment. If a person pays cash for an airline ticket and the form of payment is a credit card number, then those are red flags.
Obviously, not every travel agent and tour operator who offers discounts or runs ads in the newspaper or advertises by direct mail is a crook. Many have been in business for years and have sent thousands of travelers on vacations all over the world, often at bargain prices. So how can you tell the good guys from the bad guys in the tour game? One way is to see if they belong to a professional organization, like the American Society of Travel Agents. Another is to be highly suspicious of any deals by telephone especially if they want your credit card charges up front.
All right. There we are. We're working again. Okay. The cat unplugged the camera. That's what happened. So, just now, do you want to get Dave in here or anything? So, there was a slight disturbance in the force just now. It was, so I saw this, I knew my ears were not playing tricks on me. Because I was in here just now and I was talking about having recently gone into a male fertility clinic. And I was delivering food. And when I walked into the room at the fertility clinic to deliver food to the receptionist, the lady receptionist who was there was like just this big wall of like 12 televisions that were all just playing porn. It was insane to me, and it's like you'd think that there would have been some like subtlety a little bit to it, and I was surprised because it's like I always thought like in the movies that it endlessly mock the male fertility clinic, or satirize it. They make it seem like they give you like a magazine or whatever, or in this day and age you just use your phone. But no, this like gets you going from the very beginning when you walk into that place. And it was so interesting because it's like the lady receptionist who I was delivering food to, her job is just to sit there all day long. And you would think like she's desensitized to it. But, she's not. Am I playing on the right thing? God, I hope I am right now. But the idea is that like in this big wall of porn, was like this one television that was just playing like a picture of like videos of flowers, like just like various fauna that you see in the wild and things like that. Yeah.
Kind of abstract.
Yeah, no, it was. I was like, is there some kind of like a research behind this? I don't know. Anyway, welcome back to the Midnight Citizen Show. That was the Video Street video store just now that you just saw. And yeah, my ears were not deceiving me because I was like talking about male fertility clinics. And I heard this like weird rattling outside my window, and I got paranoid because I thought the mask was back, the Babagool. And it was outside my window was Dave and Alex, and they're here in the studio. Say hey, guys.
Hey, it's great to be here. Big fans.
And they were watching THX 1138.
Or was it like, I'm here to lay some pipe kind of porn?
Are you still asking me about that? I don't know. I mean, it was like, it's like imagine if in Scarface, if Tony Montana, was not watching like the closed circuit television systems, like, how he had like a big wall of TVs in that movie that he would just watch all the time while he snorted cocaine. Imagine it was that, but it was like porn instead.
Well, I guess
that was what it was like.
Did you make a deposit?
No, no. Well, I dropped off the food, if that's what you mean. I gave the lady the food. But she has to sit there all day long and like, I don't know. Yeah. Good God. Okay. All right. This is a family show. So you guys just decided to drop by.
Actually, we're on a mission from God.
Dave, why don't you tell them how everything in the studio that I pretty much record with is yours, by the way.
No, you have a mixer. I think I lent you a mic.
Yeah.
Cable. And
yeah.
You got your own headphones, everything else. I think I lent you a mic.
Yeah.
You got a processor of some sorts, but I don't know if you use it.
Well, I'm using a compressor. The compressor is yours. I don't even. It's not turned on.
Are you using it?
All right, the compressor is now turned on throughout the show. So, but this is the last episode of the show, so I'm really not honestly caring too much.
Sad.
Yeah, I know. But you were asking me, Alex, just now while you were in here, is like, why am I ending the show after all these years? Is this like the real end? Is this the soft end? Will I just come back? And I'm not. This is it. I'm done after this.
You're not making any more podcasts. Like, I was always under the impression it was like, that's it for the Midnight Citizen. We're gonna come back with like, I'm Mike from the Night or something.
No, I'm ending the brand, but yeah, I will probably continue doing a show. It just won't be like this, because honestly, you were in there just now in the living room just now talking with Jessica, and she's watching Casino.
Yes.
I would rather, as much as I enjoy being here right now, I would much rather be in that room right now watching Casino with her.
Can I tell you how to fix that?
Can you turn? You want to turn that fan on or anything? Are you hot?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah.
You could do your show and then watch Casino later.
Which is what I do. But the thing about it is like, you know, the idea of the show is that I was just telling all the nice people before the break that I don't want to like make the show something that I didn't imagine it to be. And even though I've always I've done throughout the years like kind of field shows, I've kind of gone out into the field and recorded shows. I always wanted it to be like a studio show. Yeah. I always wanted it to be a studio show on a Saturday night that I do live. Mm-hmm. And in the early days, you couldn't really do that. There was some technology that existed where you could kind of like stream live and things like that. But in 2010, 2011, really until like the technology really caught up with the way that I wanted to do the show, I couldn't really do that. And so like I've been able to do the show live the way that I envisioned it now for many years. So I'm really happy that I get to kind of do it like this. But I just don't want to, you know, go into this kind of area where I'm just not doing the show like I initially wanted to do it. So the idea is that my next show, and this is what I was kind of teasing before you guys like interrupted me earlier, but it's okay. I'm not mad at you. But my idea for what I'm going to do next is like, it's just going to be like, I'm just going to record a podcast that's just going to be straight up whenever I want to do it. And it's going to be just like going and just doing a field show, maybe doing a studio show, just like whatever I want to do it. No schedule at all. There's no pressure. And it's just, the idea is like, even though I could be in there right now with Jessica watching Casino, I would feel the pressure of having to do a show. You know what I mean?
Totally get that.
At some point. Yeah. So, yeah.
But I love these little pop-up shows that you've done recently, like where like I just want to talk about Eddington or French Connection for a beat. Like I love that. I think you are genuinely a wonderful storyteller. I think you've created such an interesting little niche of a show here. You are truly one of my favorite podcasts that I've ever listened to. In fact, I save up a lot of them for when I do campfires at night. You're the first like go-to thing that I play to, because what I love about your show is that it's a buddy in the room that's just sitting there just talking, and I feel like I'm in a warm campfire of people telling stories, and I too was telling Dave this earlier, like the Midnight Citizen name alone to me is like the philosophy of the dude. It's like this kind of created this idea of like
from the Big Lebowski. Is that what you mean?
But you're the guy that hangs out at night and has this sort of intelligent knowledge of things and cultural investment into things, and you spiel such great stories and anecdotes, and I feel like it's a conversation amongst friends of just sort of this sort of niche of pop culture and literature, etc. And so every week that you would drop a show was just such a gift, and so for 300 episodes, man, a full-on like congratulations of your amazing work.
Where's your applause, Dave? I don't hear you applauding. Yeah, put that whiskey down and applaud me. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, guys. That's really nice of you to say,
well,
and it is nice.
Tonight. It's like Mike's show's coming on tonight. So
yeah,
we kind of turned down things and turned you on.
I know, with the outpouring of support that I've gotten, not just from y'all, but like from other people this week, people I've never heard from before who sent me emails. I should do final shows more often. I really should, because it was like, where were you guys all these years? My God, you know?
Did Paul say, my name's Paul and this is between y'all?
Yes, that's exactly what Paul said. Yeah, he said that's between y'all. I don't know. Paul apparently is listening right now. But that was a while back, but I mean, that he commented. I haven't heard from him in a while. But like everybody else that is listening to the show right now, the idea is that, you know, you tune in and you kind of tune out. You know, I get very, very happy when people say that they never got to the end of my show because they fell asleep to it. That's the idea. I want that to happen more.
That's what I used to do with Blade Runner.
Yeah, I know. I want this show to be like Blade Runner. Something you really admire but can't make it through. I love that idea. Yeah. No. But yeah, Steve is listening to me. You know how Steve found me is through the Midnight Citizen special and Creep Fest that we used to do. Yeah, so remember that first year that I was doing the Midnight Citizen show and I did that like Halloween episode, the filmed episode in your basement, where I hosted your granddad's basement, right? Where I hosted what was it? House on Haunted Hill. Yeah. So I think Steve.
Jack-o'-lantern pumpkin.
Yeah.
Cooler.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we put dry ice in the jack-o'-lantern and used it as a beer cooler. Yeah, but I believe he found me through that. I may be wrong, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, but yeah, no, it's been good to do it. And Alex brought me a gift tonight, which is like this. You went to Neon. Should I say?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Is that okay? So you went to you went to the offices of a movie studio. Is that what they are?
Yeah, Neon, a movie distributing company.
Yeah, and they put out this new movie about George Orwell that I really want to see. It's got Animal Farm in there. So you gave me like a package of books by George Orwell. So 1984 and Animal Farm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which I've actually.
I thought they were DVDs or Blu-rays.
Yeah, I thought they were too, but like I really do want to see the movie because George Orwell's whole thing was like writing about anti-authoritarianism.
Wait, are those movies?
No.
There's promotional books for the documentary.
1984
And Animal Farm.
and Animal Farm. Yeah.
Intro by Thomas Pynchon.
Right.
Oh, okay. So it's literature.
So it's actually got an introduction by Thomas Pynchon in here.
It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a DVD set.
Yeah. That's a really big deal that Thomas Pynchon actually, because he never writes introductions for books. Yeah.
That was a question in trivia the other night. When was 1984 written?
Right. What?
It was weirdly earlier than you think.
Well, yeah. What decade was it? Well, yeah, it's written in the 1940s because it.
I know. It seems like that kind of mentality is 60s mentality.
Well, his whole idea was to take 1948 and reverse it. That's all it was.
Still, that kind of thought is 60s mentality.
Right.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yeah, I know.
40s mentality.
But again, George Orwell had, he lived in London and he had just lived through the Nazis dropping bombs on them, and
I haven't told you how World War II ended. We won.
Allegedly. Yeah, we did. I think we did. But yeah, anyway, but I really do appreciate this. I'm really excited. I haven't read 1984, which is kind of a sin for like a literature student.
That was what
the
whole thing was. I said, it's 1984. I was going to be in my pool of books for next year, and they said, oh, well,
yeah.
I'll be right back. I'll give you a copy.
But I did read Animal Farm in the 6th grade because I thought it was like a book about animals, which it is.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be about Charlotte's Web. But yeah, I mean, there's a pig in it that's like Trotsky. I know. Yeah, but I mean, that was probably the first literary book I ever read was Animal Farm, so that's a big deal to me. But anyway, but yeah, so. No. I'm going to be finishing the show up in a few minutes. I don't know if you guys are going to be around or whatever, but Jessica's in there watching Casino. You can feel free to go into the green room with her and watch it.
Watch Casino with her. She's probably right about the point where they hop into the gold rush.
They probably are. I know, exactly. So anyway, I mean, thanks for stopping by, guys. Y'all are welcome to sit down if you want to. I've got to finish the show up. I don't know if anybody is still watching or not, but yeah.
Thank you, Mike,
absolutely.
For your many years of service and great storytelling. I truly have you've given us listeners a wonderful gift with this show, and I really truly mean that. And I have nerdishly downloaded all your episodes off archive.org, and I will, for many years, listen to them on road trips and late night campfires.
They go back
and
ways.
Freelancing nights. Thank you for always just being a voice in the room.
Absolutely.
A voice in the night calls you in.
Yeah.
Dave, what's your favorite episode of the show?
I always like the Catherine Tucker Wyndham one, but there's a lot of them I like. But the Catherine Tucker Wyndham one has the way that you came in with that one just was so respectful.
Yeah.
And such a great portrait of her. That one, I think about that one a lot.
Yeah.
But there have been a lot of them, and it's kind of like 30 Rock. It's like, dude, it's such a wash that it's hard to remember it episode by episode the way you remember it in Eddie Griffith.
Yeah.
There are moments all throughout, but the Catherine Tucker Wyndham one is one that sticks out with me a lot.
That was one that I recorded way back in 2011.
Yeah,
that goes way back.
Early one.
Yeah, very
That was
very
when
early one.
Kind of said like, Here's the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I like that one a lot.
I recorded that in this room, in this very room, just like I recorded just about all of them.
Yeah, she died. It was a
Yeah.
wonderful obituary that should almost be like her official obituary.
Oh man, that's very sweet of you.
Which is a
very
big deal
nice.
to me.
Absolutely.
She's a favorite author of mine.
Yeah. Oh man.
But that's a favorite. But there's been many moments.
Thank you. And you always mention that time in probably later on that same year where you were just saying that my show was just complaining all the time.
There was a time where you discovered, hey, I can walk around with a recorder, so I'm going to walk around town and complain like an old curmudgeonly man.
Yeah, no, I enjoy complaining about things, but I think the thing about it is you got to do it artfully.
But I like the production.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, that's I did like the one. I was very proud of. Somebody left a comment on one. I kind of came in and did a quick edit while you were on the porch.
Yeah.
And somebody commented somewhere saying, like, I like the segue. It was like, you were down in the mines, and we put in some Plan 9 from outer space audio on it. And somebody said, like, I like that segue. And that was,
Oh man, that's really nice. Yeah, that was an episode I did. That was probably in 2017 or so.
Iron Mine.
Yeah. I walked deep underground. I was probably like 500 feet under the ground, probably complaining about Subway sandwiches or something like that. Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know. See, I can complain at all altitudes. I know exactly. Thanks for stopping in tonight, guys. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
Thank you for everything.
Absolutely. I'll be done in a few minutes. I don't know if you guys are still going to be around or not, but I'll see you.
Thank you for all
Thanks.
the hours.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
All right, buddy.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Well, Steve, you're still listening. I'm glad that I hope that wasn't torturous. I was so incredibly happy that Dave and Alex just stopped by for that little bit. They did not heed my my ask, or maybe I was in a way manifesting them to come out of nowhere, and because they were watching a movie a couple blocks down, and they just decided to walk over here. And now they're in the living room watching a movie with Jessica, so that's good. And yeah, Steve, you're still here. So you found me through OnSug. Yeah, OnSug, the Overnightscape Underground, which I joined in early 2011. Great website run by Frank Edward Nora out of Nutley, New Jersey, and which I'm still a part of today, to this very day. All my shows are over there on OnSug, ONSUG.com. And yeah, you said, wow, when you found me on OnSug, my kid was in elementary school and now he's in college. You were part of his childhood. That's amazing, man. That is so incredibly cool. Still have a copy of number 94. Okay, wait a second. Is that 1984 or is that episode number 94 where I go crazy? And the episode that almost cost me my job. Yeah, there was one episode of The Midnight Citizen where I went on kind of a rant against my job and almost totally lost my job. Like, I actually did have a meeting with, like, the executive director and several bosses over my podcasting shenanigans. And, wow, man, that's wild. And Paul, Paul says, I've loved all of your personal stories and complaining, and especially the way that you've brought us, the audience, along with you through your life and the constant humor you provided, Mike. Wow, that's great. Steve does have the band episode. Hey, Paul, I knew that you wanted that episode, so maybe you guys could get together and Paul, you could maybe get that from, I don't know. Just maybe putting you guys together or something like that. I don't know. Because the episode 94 that is now in the archive is censored. It does not have all the stuff on it that almost got me fired many years ago. So that's it. But yeah, I am proud of the Midnight Citizen archive. It's not all perfect. It's not all exactly like I want it to be. They don't all hit the target. This show is definitely not hitting the target, but I had no idea what this last episode was going to be like here. But all I do know is that I'm about to end the show for good in a few minutes here. And I have two of my great supportive listeners listening. I had two of my great supportive friends just drop in. And, you know, that's just means the world to me. That's a target that I hit. And I'm really happy to have shared all of this with you. And it is ultimately, I think, like a pretty good archive of just somebody growing up and not really learning much, but trying to at least give it a go of figuring out the world. I think that's what this show has been, the Midnight Citizen. So. So, yeah, what Alex just brought me was, as I said, a couple of copies of George Orwell's 1984 and Animal Farm, because there is a documentary that is out about him right now, about George Orwell, who of course lived through the bombings in London by the Luftwaffe, right? And the German and the SS, not the SS, but yeah, just the German military, the Third Reich during World War II. That is the basis of Thomas Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow. And I didn't know this, but yeah, Thomas Pynchon, Alex was saying, who has become my favorite author. I can unequivocally, I've devoted the entire year to reading Thomas Pynchon's books. I just finished Vineland. On my last episode, I actually did finish Gravity's Rainbow just before I finished recording that episode 299. But since then, I've read Vineland, and now I'm on to Mason and Dixon. And I don't know, it's like, if you're not a big reader, definitely check out Thomas Pynchon. He's really tough if you're not a big reader, if you're not into reading books. But I will tell you, all of his books, they just feel like so incredibly alive. You really do feel almost like what I want this show to feel like you are in the hands of somebody who is fun to be in the hands of. I don't know how else to say it. But yeah, Alex was saying that Thomas Pynchon actually wrote the introduction to these books, and I'm really excited to read those introductions now, because Thomas Pynchon is 87 years old. He just published his what will probably be his last book, Shadow Ticket, and he does not write a lot of anything that is not his own, work. That he doesn't really write introductions for books very much. I think he did like an introduction to like a book about the Daily Show. I don't know. I think that's right. So I don't know. With that, I think I'm going to bring the show to an end. So yeah, the other big announcement that I suppose I kind of gave away just now when talking to Dave and Alex is the fact that while the Midnight Citizen show is over and done with, I will continue doing podcast into the future. I do not know what the name of the show will be at this point. But it will start up pretty soon afterwards. So it just, and it may very well be studio shows like this one at times. It may very well be field shows. This week I did a couple of recordings, just walking around, sitting in my car. I talked about a couple of movies. I saw this movie called Eddington on Monday, and then on Tuesday I just sat in my car while I was waiting for the bookstore to open so I could go in and get a copy of Mason and Dixon, I just talked about that movie Eddington. And then Thursday night after class was over, my last class that I had to teach before Thanksgiving, I went to go see a movie at the Sidewalk Movie Theater downtown called The French Connection, one of my favorite movies of all time. And after that movie was over, I just walked around downtown Birmingham and recorded my thoughts about the movie and my just general thoughts about things in general. And stumbled into like a downstairs bar that was all made up to look like an Edgar Allan Poe story. And capturing those little moments, just that kind of like feeling of being able to record on the fly, just that, spontaneous, improvisational, just, I noticed something, I'm going to get out my recorder and talk about it and document it and put it out there. And technically it's a podcast, but what it really is it's just like it's a dispatch. And, the new show will very much be like this one, where it will be a monologue show, but I think it will be based more so in just like the theme of the show will be more about like just, I'm a person in this world. I'm going to tell you about it. I think that's what it's going to be about. So some current shows that I'm thinking about, some show titles, I'll just kind of tell you. Dispatch is the name of the show. Radio Silence, All Right Saturday Night, that's a joke. Joint Statement, Edgewise, Old Soul, Quote Unquote. These are some shows that I've got in them, and some of them have been taken up by podcasts already, but those podcasts are mostly defunct. So I hope the creators of those shows won't mind if I take their titles for my own. So anyway. So thank you again for joining me here in the studio, Midnight Citizen episode number 300. It's been a great joy to share my Saturday night into early Sunday morning with you. It's now 1:01 a.m. for me, but also for you. Our realities have synchronized. That's the point of this show, is that wherever you are in the future, wherever my show will be listened to in the future, those long drives through the night, those motel rooms while you're on a business trip, those late nights as you brood in your studio and have a candle burning that smells like James Brolin's bathroom from the 1970s. All of these things will happen in the future. They are places that will exist. And if the world goes on long enough, if the universe perseveres and the human race persists, eventually these spaces and these times will be occupied with this show, and that's such a wonderful thing at the end of the day, to synchronize this reality. 1 o'clock in the morning on November 23rd, 2025, with all those future realities, wherever and whenever they may be. Keep your eyes open.